The art of saying no.
Learning to say no, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a super important one, and I think this only comes from actual experience. And as you said before, like back in the day, you'd often want to try and be a yes man to every opportunity that comes your way. But actually by saying no over and over again actually helps you to understand who you are and defines you as a business. You're not the company that just does logos. You're not the company that just does letterheads or just does websites, right? You've gone out to specifically service a certain part of the industry with your speciality, and with the people that you work with and with your network, and that's what you do and that's what you're focused on. But the only way that you can be known for that is by saying no to all of the other things. If you say yes to all the things along the way, then you never get the chance to actually do the stuff that you want to, because people keep coming to you and recognizing you for all the things that you said yes for in the first place. So actually, no, it's one of the hardest things to. It actually gets easier to say no, but I think for a lot of people, it's one of the hardest things to say.
Yeah, and I think it's part of growing and getting more experiences. At the beginning, when you just finish university, you have to say yes to everything and take every opportunity. That's how you grow, that's how you learn. And the more experience, the more mature you get, the more often you say no to things. You have to say no to things to make really clear what you stand for, and take the opportunities to also help you to get stronger and better in what you do.
I think like we were also, I wouldn't say privileged, but when we started the studio, we came from a shared passion and a shared idea of how something should be done, and how we could possibly build a process and build a design studio. And a lot of agencies and studios are actually built on a single client. So what often happens is one of the team members will leave and take a client with them, and out of necessity they will build a company. There is a certain kind of danger in that, because if you lose that client, then it's game over. You really have to kind of you start to have to reinvent yourself from a certain level of maturity that you're already at, which can be very, very difficult. But we took a slightly different route and just jumped straight into it, with the idea of our principles, our learnings, our experience as being the driving force for making this thing hopefully successful.
That it's not just our decision if we are a good fit for our client or project.
Okay.
What I want to say with that is, we kind of managed to get in front of like a healthy amount of people, like within the last year, I would say. And sometimes we were very excited about a project and think, man, that's great. We could do something really good for them. Sometimes it's the decision of the person on the other side of the table, and also they might even think it's a good idea to work with us. It makes sense. It's great what the people are talking, but the circumstances at this moment are just not right, which means, I don't know, the budget is just too small to do what we think would be the right way to do it, which is maybe quite often the case. And then you have to accept that that's okay. Sometimes like the client has to start something in another way, maybe also smaller than we think he should do, but which doesn't mean that it might not be like later or another time. He might come back, and then we can have like a good relation.
That's a good point, actually. Always put out positive vibes.
Yeah.
That's actually maybe a side note, but it's also a very important thing because you just never know. You never know what's around the corner, and everybody who comes to you, you know, needs help, and very, you know, should never be dismissive. Always offer an option. Always offer to help in the best possible way that you can, even if you cannot facilitate and work with that client. Then, you know, refer them. Get somebody who's in a slightly different position in their career, who or maybe who just specifies on that particular need of that client, and recommend. You know, you never know what's around the corner. Always, I think, always work with positivity and good vibes. When anybody comes and knocks on your door, respond in that manner.
Yeah.